الله أكبر الله أكبر.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Hello my dear brothers and sisters. Salamun alaikum wa rahmatullah. These are some few points that remain from najasat subject, and we will cover them in this session inshallah. First very important point is, if someone has been junub, we talked about this. What is it and what is the condition? And he wants to pray his daily prayer, but he has sweated before. It is necessary precaution for him to change his clothes before he wants to prayer, because he has been junub with in a haram way, in a forbidden way. For example, he has masturbated before, and now there's a sweat on his clothes and he wants to pray. It's necessary precaution for him to change his clothes. But this sweat is not najis. This sweat is not unclean religiously. It's just he must change his clothes for his prayer. If someone has ate pork, for example, or anything najis, unclean, his saliva and sweat aren't najis, aren't unclean. When your clothes gets najis with blood, there's a drop of blood on your pants or shirts, and after you wash it, there's still a stain on your clothes. This stain, if it is not blood, if it is just the color, it's assumed as clean. This is not blood, so it's not unclean. It's not najis. Vomit is clean. Vomit isn't najis. Vomit isn't unclean. Doesn't matter if it's a vomit of 6 years old boy or a girl, adult or child. It doesn't matter. Vomit is not najis. The next point is how we can be certain that something is unclean. There is 3 ways that we can assure about this. First of all, we ourselves see something, see blood drops on carpet. We are sure that we see something and this carpet is najis. Or the owner of something, someone who is in charge of something, tells us that the carpet of my house is unclean. Do not pray on it. It is unclean. Or the one who is in charge of something. For example, the cashier tells you that the cabin is unclean. Do not touch it. This is how you can be sure. And third way is that 2 righteous people tell you that something is unclean. You can be sure that it is by just believing those 2 righteous people, honest people. And the last point is how things get najis, how things get unclean. There's 4 steps. First of all, the clean object must meet the unclean. They both must be wet or moisturized. And 3, the moisture must be transferred in between those, and this meat must be outside of human's body. So when we transfer an organ inside 2 people's body, this is blood, this is bloody. But because it is inside of another human's body, this won't get unclean and najis. So there was 4 steps. They must meet, unclean and clean. There must be some moisture. Moisture must transfer, and this meat must be outside of human's body. So the clean object would get unclean and najis. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.